In the final episode, Ray turns his gaze to the future, reflecting on how we teach Pan, Pan policy, and the preservation of Pan culture. As he contemplates his legacy and the unfinished work of spreading the gospel of Pan, the interview ends on a high note with Ray's soulful rendition of Eleanor Rigby.
So why is it then that in the land of the steel pan and the calypso,
Yes.
we don't have the schooling, that environment to create and spread this gospel to the rest of the world? You find some of these other places, universities and stuff outside, doing more than we are doing.
Yes. Because the teachers themselves are not creators. That's part of the problem. A young mind in the United States approaches the pan differently to a young mind in Trinidad.
Explain that.
Huh?
Explain that.
They come, you see, it comes from the school system. You have music schools. Or within the schools, you have a music teacher, you have a music room, and you have people who are interested in developing creative thinkers. When somebody leaves secondary school, he could go to music school and he becomes enlightened. When they leave here, you go to UW, and the UW and UTT have done a lot to increase the knowledge that students have of music. But that is like I always say, you hire people to judge Panorama. That is our leading thing here. It's supposed to be a creative. But you hiring judges who are students. Now what could a student I mean, it is a farce. What could they really teach? How are they going to improve the performance? In most cases, the performance no more than the judges.
Right.
Sorry to say that. But it is true. So we have the cart before the horse. I don't know when it's going to change. And I have been saying it I stopped saying it. If somebody wants to be a judge for Panorama, they should produce a CV.
Right.
What have you done? What have you done musically? It's not good enough to say, well, you have a degree in music. That means nothing. In terms of creative music, it means nothing. It means that you can read a sheet and so on. But what guidance can you could give technical guidance, so some people try to make themselves seem useful. Well, you should have gone, what was the phrase of it? We used to say light and shade in the old days. What's the name of it? Ducks. Can't get the word right now. Meaning you're going soft, and then you're getting louder,
Dynamics.
Dynamics. So you look at a judge's sheet. It's laced with dynamics. Now what are you teaching me? What is the musician going to learn? Nothing about harmony. It's just...
So let me ask
to me it's sad.
Right, it is. Let me ask a controversial question.
Yeah.
Would Panorama or competitions be better off with foreign judges?
Some foreign judges.
The judges who fit the bill you're talking about?
Yes.
So
some of them.
creators?
No, we have local people who fit the bill,
Yeah.
A few of them. But they're reluctant to get involved too because it's about, it's a small country, so this band, and when you don't get marks that you feel you deserve, then you start to criticize them, and so that's why I don't judge it. I would like to help, but but he attached to this X band and he this person, so it really is a disincentive to you to go to get your name polluted. But it needs some foreign judges would help. If they, a lot of people, let me tell you this, a lot of people abroad know about it, more about the pan than some of us do. Because they're studying it. They're taking it to heart. Just this week I was told that by one of the prominent arrangers. They take it seriously. They want to improve. They want to think. So they're studying it. If you don't know, that is why, for example, you find Indian cricketers, right? When they interview, they speak better than West Indian cricketers because they studied it as a first language. They study in English as a first language, no, as a second language. So they have to get it right. And it is the same way they take, because they don't know anything about it, so they're trying to learn. So they're studying every aspect of it to learn. And you add it, as we talk about the synthesis, with what we talk about earlier on. So that is the reason.
So let me again go back to the issue of the teaching. So is the whole pedagogy of our teaching wrong? I mean,
I wouldn't say the whole.
You know,
go ahead and ask me.
Are we, you know, we're teaching the theory.
Yes, that's
right. But listening to you, there obviously has to be an aspect of the I know, is emotion, the creation side of it. Is it that?
Well, in addition to the theory, which is vast, which is most important, if we're talking about, if we want to arrangers and composers to emerge, it has to be more than that. See, they have to have a widen your musical appetite. Spread out. Don't confine yourself too narrow. You have to know more. I went to UTT. I was invited by one of the professors there 5 years ago. Come and talk to my class now. He's doing jazz. He said, tell them now. They're unwilling to learn anything about classical music. I said, well, I don't want to get involved in that. And people quick to say about colonial. So up but I went in. I said, gentlemen, what your professor is doing is trying to give you a greater breadth of knowledge of music. You say you're in jazz. I say, most of the great jazz players study classical music. You see, so a lot of it is ignorance, and you need people to bring them out of that ignorance. How they got so great? Classical music is the foundation on which all music is based. And somebody who has that foundation and has the spark and so on will always... The festival did a lot for the pan here by playing classical music. You know, it did a lot. But then things kind of stopped short. That is not all. That is not all. What about the spark? What puts up sense of that spark in your head? You know? And you have to have the musical knowledge to back to ignite. So all young people, I have to say that the radio not doing them much favors. the radio, what the radio say? Oh, you hear the same things over. The radio played a part in when all of the present the top arrangers listen to the radio. You hear different types of music. No, it's hard for them to grow. So they're in a wrong time. So they have to learn from somebody else. You have to have a good music school with good teachers. Not just somebody who has a degree, that's not good enough. You see what I'm saying, Duma?
Somebody has to have the experience.
Yes, yes. And to have been around creative musicians, and so that's the only way you're going to really improve.
So that sort of, I guess, exposure to other things, you know,
is important.
Right.
Be too narrow. Too narrow. I always have a fight, well, with drummers here, right? But I tell them, the drummers here, they all want to outdo each other, want to play loud. How I knew, when I was teaching at Seattle, music school, I used to attend the jazz. The jazz professor used to invite me to come and sit in. And I played a couple gigs with him after sitting for some time, but I saw how he conducted, how he treated the drummers. You can't make noise on the drum. He said, all over the world it's like, you have to teach them how to play, when to use your soul now, man. You know, and don't be indisciplined. Don't be too conscious of yourself. You're playing in a group, so you have to listen to the entire group and fit in with the group, not to be above the group. If they give you a solo, that's a different thing. So most drummers are guilty, and I don't say anything again. I realize I wasted I'm gonna keep my voice to talk like that, people like you.
So I mean, hopefully all is not lost.
All is not lost.
Tell me, and I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Tell me, who you think among today's young composers or arrangers are pushing the boundaries in a way that excites you?
Not the established ones we're talking about.
Not the established ones. I mean, if you're any you
I
want
really
to mention.
don't know. Tell me what I've heard from the people who are not the few at the top who are considered good arrangers. Is trying to imitate poor efforts. See? They're not trying to imitate the better efforts. Maybe because it's beyond them, but we need a faculty in the music where they teach arranging. That to me is very important, where you might have a composer in residence. All those things people have available outside.
Right, so we don't have that.
We don't have it.
Yeah.
We don't have it.
But let me.
But they could travel and go ahead and get it.
Yeah, but let me come back to an earlier question about the issue of the role of competition in this seeming degradation of our situation, where you're arranging now to win competitions.
Yes.
And so therefore, the way you arrange is to please judges.
Yes.
You wanna give me your views on that?
Well, for the last time I'm going to talk about it. The competition, as it has developed, arrangers are looking for ways to please the judge. So, money is at stake. And this person, well, he's a human, he wants to keep his job, let us say whatever, he wants to be successful, so that he will be rehired. The band, the management wants to do well, so the sponsor will not pull this, so it's coming on from the top. The top, you know what they say, you have to cut off the head of the snake to kill it. This is coming from top. So the musician now is at the bottom. So he at the bottom because the sponsor above him, the band management above him, the judge above him. So he's at the bottom of the heap. So he is trying to please, do his best to please, even if it's against his better judgment, against his soul, trying to do that so he'll be sad. And that is where it is now. I'm not saying it will be forever so. Hopefully, we would see the light. That the competition should be to bring out the best music we could produce. And I don't think people looking at it like that. We try to bring out the best music we could produce. Not to be just the winner with substandard. That and it's going right through. You have to cut off. I told you that already. The problem stems from the top.
Right.
You observe. Now the arrangers, not really in charge of the bands except one arranger. Right? So they fall in, toe in the line. You know? You're going everywhere, you know, but we look for somebody who can make us win. All right, fine. So if it is to win with the best music, right. But it is inimical to progress now. And people have been saying it for years. And the arrangers are afraid to come out and say it. They told me because they don't want to be victimized.
Precisely.
They tell me this, and I ain't calling any names. They don't want to be victimized. Everybody keeping in place. You know, stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Don't get too big for yourself. Don't get too big for your breeches. Stay in your lane, and all will be fine. So that's where we are.
But the music suffers.
Yes, that's where we are. And to take it back to the calypso, Sparrow sang what he thought was the best thing for him to sing. He didn't try to sing, so we're not really confident. The Dimash Gra was lovely to listen to, but things have changed. The same thing, the prize money. So people know, well, if they sing this kind of song, they could win. Is the parallel is there. And that is why the calypso has dropped.
Essentially, our culture is driven by competition.
Yes, it's going down.
Right. Well, let's I guess, both of us, let's jump off the soapbox.
Yes.
Right, and I'll come back to something a little more personal to you. You mentioned you're in the process of writing your biography. Right?
Yes.
So as you're going through this process, what are your thoughts and feelings about your legacy as what I will call a titan in the Panniverse?
I don't think of myself like that. I think myself as somebody who tried to lift the pan, lift the music, lift the organization, lift the players, lift their discipline, lift their outlook on life, you know. And if some people think it's positive, I'll take that. You know. That's what I try to do. And that's what I'm still trying to do. I'm not as active as I was. Whatever little I do, I try to be a credit still, and to make more people come to it, make more people fall in love with it. Music is love. You know, and it goes back to the good book. If you don't have love, you have nothing. So let them discover the love in the music again. That is my legacy.
When you hear a band perform one of your compositions now, you know, what do you listen for most? The accuracy, the emotion, the groove? What draws your attention?
First, I listen for the accuracy. You know, whether they're playing it correctly, whether they're playing the right melody, whether the harmony is correct before they started with their thing. You know? And for the style of it, the feel. I mean, the most important thing in music is the feel, you know. The feel, and then how you make the listener feel. You transferring your feel to the listener, and hoping that you'd want to come back and hear that. You want to come and experience that feel again. So that's what I think.
If you had to describe your musical philosophy in just one sentence, what would that sentence be? Or a phrase?
Be true to yourself. Be true to yourself and your music.
Right. How, when all is said and done, would you like to be remembered in this space? As a Pannist, a composer, an innovator, a teacher? What or all of those things.
All of those, and somebody who loved the steel band and who loved the steel band and the steel orchestra, and try to get it to sound the best it could sound, and to encourage people to do that. People who were before me who did it, try to keep that. That's the kind of thought process you want. That's the kind of mentality you want to develop. Not to say it good so. You know, treat it, hold the instrument in high regard. Hold it in high regard. I go around to some bands, I like to go by in my area, see a little band, and all the cellos and things will sort of rust, they leave it in the open water. I mean that. I mean, in this time, I'm going as far as remember we passed that stage.
Yes.
Show some, and so, I mean, you don't see that in Exodus.
No.
Right. So, but the smaller people who's struggling, you know, all the more reason why they should take care of the instruments.
Yes.
But maybe they don't have anybody to point it out to them. We need direction. The world needs teachers, you know.
Yeah. You know, a strange, or maybe another controversial question has popped into my mind. Should the government be making it easier, more affordable for pan sides and to afford instruments?
Well, they could help. Then we have to be careful. That's a real good question. that it doesn't become like the Calypso tent. The Calypso tent now is a disaster, if they still have any.
Right.
Because they are funded by government. Sparrow, Kitchener, Shadow, and they don't have their tent. They have to find their own money and have good calypsos, so their tent would flourish. It's not so anymore. When a tent loses, it's not coming out of their pockets, you know. Tent promoters ain't losing anything. It's the government giving them a grant. And you bring your friend, you know, a fellow, but you say, come and sing, Bangala, you sing.
Well, I guess it's akin to my question was really around the teach a man to fish rather than feed him approach, because if it's a sort of catch-22. It's difficult to create the ability for steel band men to flourish because you need instruments and they're expensive. So if I make it easier for you,
help them.
But
not give them everything.
Right, okay.
Because then they lose the incentive to work for it. Lose the incentive to work for it. You know, a friend of mine told me this. He read one of my ex-students. Now, I'm very close to my students, even though the great gap in age. So one told me, say, you know, we're talking about exercising, and so you think that someone ride, they go for a ride. He said, you know what I read? This author said, this particular man used to ride miles every morning, jump on his bicycle and ride miles to keep fit. As soon as they started to, you know, some, like, an advertising company decided now that they wanted to make people aware of it and to inspire people. They started to pay him, you know, he stopped riding. he loses his zest.
Right.
Was that the point I'm making?
Yeah.
That fervor he had.
Right.
They said, it come like a job now.
The motivation went down.
Yes, it lost the motivation for it. So I'm saying help, yes, but let them get some fervor, motivation too. Because you know it's easy if it's not coming out of your pocket. When something comes out of your pocket and you sweat for it, you have a greater respect. It's like if people leave a will. You leave a will, you leave as a property, you will. They ain't sweat for it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's gone down the drain.
You must earn it.
Yes. I think so. Help, yes. But I suppose, as you say, with the steel man, it's difficult and it's so expensive.
It's expensive, yes.
For a young man, you know, many people say, you get a pan first. You go, I can't get a pan, you know. I can't. The same the drums are so scarce, good drums are scarce. A lot of things here need fixing. You'll see to me. A lot of things need. But when you talk about these things, you develop enemies.
Yeah.
Because people, what do you think he is? You're going against, you're mashing somebody's scorns. I don't want to mash somebody's scorns. I'm telling you what is good for the future, present and future of the instrument and the players and of everybody involved with this team. And you have to do certain things.
Yeah. Well, Ray, I want to thank you for giving me of your time to speak. You know, it went on a lot longer than I had anticipated and promised you, but I think we had a great conversation. But most of all, I want to thank you for what you have done for Pan in Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you.
You know, you've been a pioneer, you've been an innovator, and a significant contributor to the Pan landscape. You know, the melodies, the arrangements that you've left in your wake have been fantastic, and I really want to thank you for all that you've done in that regard.
Thank you, David. Thank you. My pleasure to do it. To be at your service.
The service of the country.
Yes.